Ferry Montter and the Secret Room of Absolute Nonsense. While wandering the halls one evening, mostly because he got lost trying to find the bathroom, Ferry stumbled upon a strange door. It wasn't like the other doors in the castle. For one, it had a giant neon sign above it that read, "Absolutely not a secret room. Go away." Naturally, Ferry opened it. Inside, the room was filled with the most random objects he had ever seen. Floating rubber ducks, a bookshelf containing only books about cheese, a fireplace that emitted bubbles instead of fire, and in the center of it all stood a very old, very confused wizard.
Oh, a visitor!
The wizard said excitedly.
I've been stuck in here for 70 years.
Ferry frowned.
Why?
The wizard shrugged.
No idea. I walked in, the door vanished, and now I live here. Tea?
Before Ferry could respond, the door behind him suddenly disappeared.
Oh no,
Ferry groaned.
not again.
Ferry Monter and the escape plan that should never have worked. Ferry paced the room, trying not to panic.
Okay. There has to be a way out.
The old wizard, now sipping tea out of a mug labeled "World's Least Successful Escape Artist," shook his head.
I've tried everything. Nothing works.
Ferry glanced at the bookshelf.
Have you tried using magic?
Oh, sure.
The wizard said.
I cast a door-opening spell. The door exploded.
Okay, what about teleportation?
Tried it. Ended up inside that cheese book for 3 days.
Ferry groaned.
Well, we can't just live here forever.
The wizard shrugged.
Speak for yourself. I've got tea.
Just then, Ronbledore's voice echoed from outside.
Ferry? You in there?
Yes!
Ferry shouted.
Get me out.
A pause. Then
How?
Ferry face-palmed.
I don't know. Open the door.
A loud, metallic clunk echoed, followed by Ronbledore's confused voice.
It's just a doorknob?
He turned it, and the door swung open effortlessly. Ferry stared in disbelief.
You're telling me I was trapped in here because an old man never tried the knob.
The wizard blinked.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds rather silly.
Ferry groaned and stormed out.
I need a nap.
Ferry Monter and the field trip from hell. Just as Ferry thought his life at Foggwarts couldn't get any weirder, Professor Bumbledelf made an announcement at breakfast. "Students," he declared.
Today, we embark on a mandatory educational adventure.
The entire hall groaned.
Where are we going?
Harmonica asked excitedly.
The Forbidden Forest.
Bumbledelf beamed. Ferry dropped his spoon.
The what?
Oh, don't be dramatic.
Bumbledelf said, waving a hand.
It's only mildly life-threatening.
Ronbledore sighed.
I was really hoping for something normal, like a museum.
An hour later, the students stood at the edge of a dark, ominous forest. The trees swayed even though there was no wind. Somewhere in the distance, something growled.
All right, children.
Bumbledelf said cheerfully.
The goal is simple. Don't die.
Ferry gulped.
Not exactly reassuring.
A few minutes in, the group encountered their first problem. A giant spider blocking the path.
Oh no,
Ronbledore muttered.
I hate spiders.
The spider, sensing fear, took a step forward.
Oh, good.
It hissed.
Lunch.
Ferry paled.
Anyone know a spell for this?
Harmonica flipped through her book.
Arachnofreeze?
She waved her wand. A snowball appeared and gently bonked the spider on the head. The spider blinked, then looked very, very angry.
Run!
Ferry whispered. They ran! Ferry Monter and the really bad hiding spot. The group sprinted through the forest, dodging tree roots and suspiciously glowing mushrooms.
Where do we hide?
Ronbledore panted.
There.
Harmonica pointed to a large, hollow tree. They dove inside just as the spider skittered past, grumbling about annoying little wizards and how hard it is to find a decent meal these days. Ferry let out a sigh of relief.
Okay, we're safe.
The tree immediately sneezed. Ronbledore's eyes widened.
Did that tree just...
The tree groaned, shook its branches, and in a deep, rumbling voice muttered.
I hate allergies.
Harmonica gasped.
Oh no, it's a talking tree.
Correction.
The tree grumbled.
I'm an angry talking tree, and you just ran into my nose.
Ferry blinked.
Your nose.
The tree sniffled.
Yes, and now I'm...
It sneezed again, launching them 20 feet into the air. Ferry flailed.
This school is a nightmare.
Ferry Montter and the Forest of Worse Decisions. As the group landed, rather painfully, on a pile of glowing moss, Ferry groaned.
I'm going to start charging Foggwarts for every injury I get.
Ronbledore sat up.
Guys?
They turned. Standing before them was a massive, three-headed chicken.
Oh, come on.
Ferry yelled.
Now what?
The chicken flapped its wings and let out a terrifying, multi-voiced cluck. Harmonica gasped.
It's the legendary cockatrice of catastrophe.
Ferry sighed.
Of course it is.
Ferry Monter and the chicken challenge. The cockatrice of catastrophe took a step forward, its 6 glowing eyes locked onto Ferry.
To pass, you must complete the test.
It squawked. Ferry blinked.
The test.
The chicken nodded.
The test of wit, courage, and poultry knowledge.
Ronbledore leaned over.
Mate, I think we're about to lose to a chicken.
The first challenge began. The cockatrice flapped its wings.
Answer this riddle. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Ferry's brain short-circuited.
Ugh.
The cockatrice gasped.
You do not know, foolish mortal.
Harmonica raised a hand.
Scientifically speaking, mutations in the egg likely led to the first true chicken, so technically...
The cockatrice nodded solemnly.
Nerd, you pass.
Ferry gawked.
Wait, that's it?
The cockatrice huffed.
Next challenge, you must dance.
Ronbledore groaned.
I knew this would get worse.
A tiny record player appeared. Suddenly, upbeat polka music filled the air. Ferry sighed.
Fine.
He half-heartedly wiggled his arms. The cockatrice gasped.
Truly a dancer of legend.
Harmonica clapped.
Oh wow, that actually worked.
The cockatrice nodded.
You have passed all tests. Be gone.
Ferry groaned.
This school is trying to kill me in the dumbest ways possible.
Ferry Monter and the chicken curse. After barely escaping the cockatrice of catastrophe, Ferry and his friends found themselves trudging deeper into the forbidden forest.
I swear, if we run into another weird magical creature, I'm dropping out.
Ferry muttered. Ronbledore gasped.
Mate, don't say that. That's how the forest knows to send something worse.
Too late. A rustling noise came from the bushes ahead, followed by an ominous clucking sound. Harmonica paled.
Please tell me that's not another chicken.
A tiny, furious rooster burst from the undergrowth. It had glowing red eyes, a cape, and a disturbingly smug expression.
I am Lord Peckington,
The rooster declared.
and you have insulted my kind.
Ferry groaned.
Of course.
Lord Peckington flapped onto a rock and puffed out his chest.
For your crimes against poultry, I curse you, Ferry Montter. From this day forth you shall...
A loud whoosh interrupted him as a massive hippogriff swooped down, grabbed the tiny rooster in its talons, and flew away. Silence. Ronbledore blinked.
Is it still going to curse you?
Ferry sighed.
I don't know, but if I wake up tomorrow clucking, we'll have our answer.
Ferry Monter and the unsafe safe house. Deciding they needed a break, the trio stumbled across a mysterious cabin hidden between the trees.
There's no way this place is safe.
Ferry said.
But it says safe house right on the door.
Harmonica pointed out. Ronbledore shrugged.
Hey, good enough for me.
They stepped inside cautiously. The interior looked cozy. Warm fire, soft chairs, a bubbling cauldron. Then the cauldron spoke.
Oh, good, guests. I was getting lonely.
Ferry backed up immediately. Nope! The cauldron let out a bubbly laugh.
Oh, don't be shy. Sit, relax, perhaps try a sip of my mystery stew.
Ronbledore sniffed the air.
Smells like sadness and broken dreams. Correct!
The cauldron chirped.
Also, turnips.
Harmonica flipped through her book.
Guys, this might be the legendary sentient soup pot of suffering.
Ferry groaned.
Why is everything in this school cursed?
Before anyone could answer, the front door slammed shut behind them.
Oh,
The cauldron said cheerfully.
did I forget to mention? You can't leave until you finish your soup.
Ferry facepalmed.
I hate this place.
Ferry Monter and the great soup escape. Ferry stared at the bubbling cauldron.
There is no way I'm eating anything from a pot that calls itself the soup pot of suffering.
The cauldron giggled.
Oh, you'll change your mind soon enough.
Ronbledore scratched his head.
What happens if we don't eat it?
The flames beneath the cauldron flared.
Then I sing.
A deep, ominous silence filled the room. Harmonica paled.
What? Kind of singing?
The cauldron took a deep breath.
It's a small world after.
Okay, we'll eat it.
Ferry shouted, covering his ears. Ronbledore grabbed a spoon.
How bad can it be?
He took a sip. Instantly, his eyes widened.
Oh no.
Ferry panicked.
What? What is it? Is it poison?
Ronbledore gasped.
It's worse.
He clutched his throat.
It tastes like homework.
Ferry gagged.
That's the most evil thing I've ever heard.
The cauldron cackled.
Yes! Drink up! Let the flavor of last-minute essays and overdue assignments consume you.
Harmonica stood up.
I refuse.
She pointed her wand.
Liberato exitium.
A loud boom echoed through the cabin as the door exploded off its hinges. Ferry pumped his fist.
Yes, let's go.
They bolted outside as the cauldron wailed.
No! Come back! I have dessert!
Ronbledore panted.
Never. Eating. Again.
Ferry wiped his mouth.
That was easily the worst meal of my life.
Harmonica shuddered.
I think it was grating my soul while I ate.
Ferry groaned.
Next time, we bring snacks.
Ferry Monter and the backwards river. Thinking they were finally safe, the trio trudged along until they reached a river flowing in the wrong direction. Ronbledore frowned.
Is water supposed to do that?
Harmonica flipped through her book.
Oh no, this must be the river of regrets.
Ferry groaned. Of course it is. A sign next to the river read, "To cross, face your greatest regret." Ronbledore shrugged.
Easy enough?
He stepped forward. Immediately, a ghostly version of himself appeared.
Ronbledore? Remember that time you ate Haggard's mystery stew?
Ronbledore paled.
No. I blocked that out.
The ghost smirked.
It still haunts you, doesn't it?
Ronbledore screamed and ran across the river, splashing wildly. Harmonica sighed.
All right, my turn.
She stepped forward. Her ghostly self appeared, holding a slightly bent quill.
Remember that one test where you got a B+?
The ghost sneered. Harmonica gasped. No! She sprinted across the water. Ferry hesitated.
I don't know if I can handle this.
His ghost appeared. It smirked.
Remember when you thought this school would be fun?
Ferry groaned.
Yeah, that was stupid.
He stomped across the river. This is far from over. Ferry's adventure continues. Click on the next part and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything.